Today we're opening the Kaplan Dossier, the clean, solid foundation of what we know about Jaan Yaman's new romantic thriller project. If you only take one idea from this video, take this. Kaplan is not stepping into a cute romance. He's stepping into a world where trust is dangerous, where one wrong move turns you into a target, and where love isn't a safe place. It's another pressure point. The series is titled El Laberinto de las Mariposas, often referenced in English as the Butterfly Labyrinth. And that title actually tells you a lot. A labyrinth is never a straight line. It's twists, traps, dead ends, false doors. And the butterfly part adds a second layer. Transformation, fragile beauty, and the idea that something small can change everything. So even before you hear a single line of dialogue, the title alone screams. This is a story about getting lost, about changing, and about trying to survive the maze without losing yourself. The genre label attached to it is romantic thriller. That genre mix matters, because it's not half romance, half action, like two separate shows glued together. A good romantic thriller does something more intense. It makes the romance part of the danger. Makes attraction feel risky. Makes closeness feel like exposure. In a romance you move toward someone. In a thriller you try not to get caught. In a romantic thriller you do both at the same time. And that's where the tension comes from. This project is described with an 8-episode structure. And that's a big green flag for pacing. When a story is built for 8 episodes, it usually means the writers don't have endless room for filler. You get a tighter rhythm. Setup, escalation, reversals, consequences. Every episode pushes forward, and every choice costs something. That's perfect for a thriller, because thrillers live on momentum. The moment the story slows down too much, the danger stops feeling real. Now let's talk about the character at the center of the maze. Kaplan. Jaan Yaman is linked to the role of Kaplan, and the framing around him is clear. Kaplan is a secret agent, the kind of person trained to stay calm, trained to read rooms, trained to predict outcomes. A secret agent isn't supposed to panic. He's supposed to control the situation. So what happens when the one thing he can't control happens? The engine that powers this story is betrayal. Kaplan is set up. And that single word, betrayal, is what turns a professional into a survivor. Because once you're betrayed, the rules of your world change overnight. Suddenly, you're not protected by the system. You're hunted by it. Suddenly, your clean identity becomes suspicious. Suddenly, every friend becomes a question mark. And every stranger might be watching. And the most brutal part is this. When you're betrayed, you don't only lose safety. You lose certainty. You start second-guessing every memory. You replay conversations in your head like surveillance footage. You ask yourself, was that person ever real with me? That psychological pressure is exactly what makes a thriller feel personal. And it's also where the romance element becomes powerful. Because in this kind of story, love isn't just emotion. It's a decision. It's a risk. It's a vulnerability you can't afford. And still can't resist. Kaplan's situation isn't just run away and hide. The narrative is built around him trying to clear his name while everything closes in. That means he has to do what every framed hero has to do. Become his own investigator. He has to follow the threads, uncover the setup, find the real players, and expose the truth, while being chased, while being watched, while being outnumbered. And here's where the stakes expand. The confirmed premise links Kaplan's fight to a major high-value operation, basically a heist-level threat with serious consequences. That instantly changes the scale of the story. It's not only, prove I didn't do this. It becomes, if I don't stop what's happening, everything gets worse. For me, for the country, for the people caught in the blast radius. So the tension comes from multiple directions at once. He's under pressure to survive. He's under pressure to find proof. He's under pressure to stop something big. And he's under pressure emotionally, because the moment someone gets close to him, they become a target too. This is where romantic thriller becomes addictive. You're not watching love as comfort. You're watching love as conflict. You're watching it tested under fire. In normal romance, the question is, will they end up together? In a romantic thriller, the question becomes darker and sharper. If they get close, will it destroy them? That's why the chemistry matters so much in this genre. One look can mean hope, or it can mean danger. Now let's zoom out to why this project is a major career move. The series is positioned as a strong step into the Spanish language lane, filmed in Spain. That's not a cosmetic detail. That is market power. Spanish language drama has a massive international footprint. Spanish thrillers in particular have built a global audience that loves the style. Fast pacing, high emotion, sharp plot turns, and characters who feel raw and human. When a Spanish thriller hits, it doesn't stay local. Travels. It gets discussed across Europe, it gets picked up by international audiences, and it often reaches Latin America with huge momentum. That's why this move matters. It places Jaan in an ecosystem built for export, built for global distribution, built for international fandom growth. On the production side, the project is tied to Sequoia Studios. That name matters because thrillers demand structure. You need consistency. You need tight shooting schedules, clean post-production planning, and a story that holds together when the audience starts pausing scenes and connecting clues. When a thriller is sloppy, people feel it immediately. When it's sharp, it becomes binge-worthy. The project is also reported with 2 directors attached. That often means the season is planned in blocks, and that usually improves consistency. A romantic thriller needs a controlled visual language. The right atmosphere, the right camera tension, the right rhythm between action and emotion. You want a world that feels real enough to be dangerous, but cinematic enough to be captivating. And then there's the supporting cast, because in a thriller, the world around the main character is the real battlefield. You need a network. Allies who might be compromised, enemies hiding behind smiles, people with private agendas. A labyrinth story isn't exciting if there's only one path. It's exciting because there are too many paths, and you never know which one is a trap. So expect the emotional pattern of a story like this to feel like waves. One moment, Kaplan finds a clue. The next moment, the clue creates a bigger threat. One moment, someone appears trustworthy. The next moment, that trust becomes leverage against him. One moment, romance offers relief. The next moment, romance becomes a weakness someone can exploit. That's why the Kaplan character is such a strong fit for a thriller. A secret agent is trained to hide emotion, but a romantic thriller forces emotion into the open. It forces him to choose between control and connection. It forces him to protect people while trying not to need them. And that internal conflict is what turns action into character. So let's lock the clean checklist, the foundation of the dossier. The title is El Laberinto de las Mariposas, the Butterfly Labyrinth. The genre is romantic thriller. The structure is 8 episodes. Jaan Yaman leads as Kaplan, a secret agent who is betrayed and becomes hunted. He fights to clear his name while facing a major high-value operation with serious consequences. The production is tied to Sequoia Studios. And the project is a clear Spanish-language, Spain-filmed market move with global reach potential. That's the confirmed foundation, the base layer of the maze. And from here, every new solid detail adds another corridor, another clue, another piece of the map. If you want the next dossier chapter the moment it's ready, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next update.